All right, final one. Zero hedge, of course. I was mentioning that video the other day in Venezuela where the bunch of bikers, a few ratty vehicles chasing down this big truck that had a bunch of bags of sugar. They're firebombing it, Molotov cocktail. It was like a scene out of Mad Max for sugar, freaking sugar. Not even food that you could really eat, just sugar, probably for barter, right? That's the level it got. Having said that, you remember Mexico not that long ago. We got to raise taxes on the gas price, people. Sorry. And the people were pissed because it wrecked a bunch of people's lives instantaneously. There's a lot of poor people in Mexico. So you raise the gas price any little bit and it's devastating, right? To these people especially. Mexico's gasoline thieves go full, speaking of Mad Max, go full Mad Max as competing cartels declare war on each other and the army for the gasolino. Fuel theft in Mexico used to consist of a few villagers drilling holes in Pemex pipelines and carrying away just enough gasoline to fill their vehicles and maybe a couple extra gallons to sell on the side of the freeway. But as the Colombian notes, illegally tapping into pipelines and stealing gas from Mexico's state-owned oil company has morphed into a very well-organized criminal enterprise run by well-armed regional cartels and supported by distribution on a commercial scale to factories and petrol stations. Heavy arms and violence seen in Tuesday's confrontation, last Tuesday that is, in Puebla state reflects its growth into a billion-dollar business that supplies not just the people selling gas on the sides of highways called huachicoleros, but factories and gasoline station chains. It has become an industrial-scale operation involving a string of villages and hamlets along pipeline routes, not just in Pueblo, but in Guanajuato, Veracruz, Tamaulipas, and other Mexican states. The government says more than 6,000 illegal pipeline taps, 6,000, were found in 2016, and officials have been detecting, on average, about 20 taps per day this year. Of all the fuel that is stolen, only 10% is sold to the public by roadside vendors, says Jesus Morales, the top police official in Pueblo State. The other 90% goes to big business groups, to gas stations, factories. Meanwhile, the collection and distribution of stolen fuel has become every bit as barbaric as the drug trade, with local villagers being given quotas by organized cartels and then suffering brutal consequences when those quotas aren't met. You got your job sales quota, you got to do 40,000 a month or whatever. Listen, Pablo, or we can do it like Elf style, the movie Elf. Hey, buddy, how many etch sketches you got done? I'm gonna be a little bit low this time, Ming Ming. Just how many are you got done? 380. Oh, that puts you about 789 behind. Yeah. Pablo, you don't get the same kind of treatment Elf got. Off with your head, Pablo. That's how this goes down. As the stakes have risen, fuel theft has become a blood industry. In early July, 9 people were killed, including 5 men whose bodies were burned, in a dispute between fuel thieves in the town, we'll just say in a town in Puebla State. Morales said the killings involved a gang of distributors trying to collect from local vendors who were unable to meet their sales quotas because of police raids. Police raided us, bro. Can't help you. Oh, we're going to kill you anyways. But it wasn't my fault. Yeah, that's just how things go down. They committed this barbarous act as a gesture of anger, said Morales, who claimed that vendors have recently raised the price of stolen fuel to near that of legitimate gasoline. It used to be half as much because their supplies are being cut off. As the police officers waited near the cornfield in Puebla, they saw a huge column of smoke rise into the sky after a clandestine warehouse of stolen fuel went up in flames about 2 miles down the road. Authorities couldn't go into the area to fight the blaze because they risked confrontation with the villagers. They don't even let the fire department enter. Assistant Public Safety Secretary Jose Tlachi said they usually try to put the fires out themselves. Pemex workers and local villagers paint a surreal scene of the carnage left in the wake of this relatively nascent criminal enterprise, which includes thousands of abandoned Mad Max-style vehicles and gasoline literally flooding entire fields after pipeline taps are drilled and then simply abandoned once tanks have been filled. So they tap a gas pipeline. You can imagine how much gas is going through a freaking pipeline. Fill up their barrels, Mad Max style. We don't have anything to plug it. There's too much pressure. Too much pressure in there. We can't just plug it, so we just let it go. Can you imagine what type of environmental disaster is actually currently happening right now as I'm just sitting here, you know, loving life in America, middle class, yeah, baby, you as it. You know, if a tree branch falls in the middle of a forest and no one's around to see it, did it really fall? Yes, it did. And if someone, Mexican's poking a hole in a pipe to drain out some fuel, but no one was around to see it, is it still going to pollute the environment? Well, why, yes, it is. Unbelievable. We're just, I mean, collectively, we humans, we're just destroying this planet. But this is all, again, this is all about the haves and have-nots. You can't have a country, a society, where there's people who are wealthy, and there's no healthy middle class, and then a little bit of poor people, and instead have people who are very wealthy, and then most everybody else is poor. It doesn't work. Because the have-nots sooner or later realize we're tired of living like this. You just raised the gas rate on us. We can't survive now. We already couldn't really survive. Now you've put a nail in our coffins. And now we're going to do what we have to do to survive, Mr. Government. Which is why the record-breaking numbers of pipelines being tapped into. And hey, I got little bambinos at home to take care of. Little bambinos. I can't come back and fix this pipe. No, I'm gone. I'm out. See ya. Let someone else worry about it. I gotta live day by day. We don't care about the consequences or anything else. When there's desperate people, they do desperate things. Right? What do those Gerald Celente always say? When people have nothing else left to lose, they lose it. And there's so many poor people in Mexico who have nothing else to lose now that the gas prices by the government have been jacked up so high. Have nothing else left to lose, and they've lost it. I'm going to do things I never would have done before. I'm going to be punching holes in the pipelines. I'm going to join a cartel. I'm going to do this Mad Max style. We're going to have shootouts with other gangs who want our stuff. You know, this is Hollywood. I got a great idea. Have a Mad Max 3. You don't even have to hire anybody. You don't have to hire anybody. Just get a couple of quadcopters, little drones, and film the whole scene over Mexico. You make an entire movie out of it for free. They wouldn't even know. You won't be able to point anybody out. They, you know, actors. No, this is real. You know, Mad Max 3, beyond, not beyond Thunderdome, beyond Tijuana. Mad Max 3, beyond Tijuana. Anyways, I'm out. Take care.